My wife was glued to social media like it paid her rent. And as it turns out, that wasn't far from the truth. Every goddamn minute of every goddamn day, snap, filter, post. Always with the perfect angle, the perfect light, the perfect fucking lie. Breakfast plates positioned just so. Workout selfies with that practiced look of exhaustion. Business casual outfits with captions about closing deals and making moves. The whole digital circus of her pretending she was some boss babe on top of the world. I used to scroll through her feed sometimes and wonder who the hell that woman was. Because the Jessica I woke up next to wasn't that put-together glamazon with the inspirational quotes and the engaging comment threads. The real Jessica left dirty dishes in the sink for days. The real Jessica hadn't closed a deal at her mid-level marketing job in months. The real Jessica was increasingly distant, increasingly absent, increasingly somewhere else. But hey, social media is all performance, right? Everyone's faking it. I told myself it was harmless, just a little online attention to stroke her ego. God knows we all need something to feel good about in this shitshow economy. So I let it slide, even when she'd be up till 2 a.m., networking, on her phone, her back turned to me in our bed, the blue light of her screen reflecting off the wall. Then came that Tuesday. Nothing special about the day. Just another soul-crushing shift at my construction management gig, fighting with subcontractors who couldn't read a simple blueprint if their lives depended on it. I came home early with a pounding headache, cracked a beer, and mindlessly scrolled through my own feed. That's when I saw it. Right there in the comments of her latest post, some artsy shot of her sipping a martini at that overpriced downtown bar she suddenly couldn't get enough of. Thanks for the amazing night. You were incredible. Just like we agreed. I know your schedule's tight, but I hope we can do it again soon. Worth every penny. The username was some generic bullshit. JDallas88. Profile pic of a guy in sunglasses, face half hidden. I froze, beer halfway to my mouth. Read it twice. 3 times. My stomach turned cold and tight like someone had replaced my guts with twisted steel cable. The comment had been up for 6 hours. 6 fucking hours, and she hadn't deleted it. Hadn't even tried to hide it. In fact, she'd given it a heart reaction. I set the beer down before I crushed the can. My first instinct was to call her immediately and start screaming. But 15 years working construction sites had taught me one valuable lesson: when the structure's compromised, you don't just start swinging a sledgehammer. You assess. You plan. You figure out just how bad the damage really is. So I didn't go off right away. I played it cool. Waited. Watched as she posted 3 more carefully staged photos throughout the afternoon, none of which mentioned the comment still sitting there like a turd in a swimming pool. That night she strolled in at 8:45, over 2 hours after her office officially closed. Hair perfect. Makeup fresh. Not a wrinkle in her blouse. Traffic was a nightmare, she said, not meeting my eyes as she kicked off her heels. And then Brenda dumped that Johnson account disaster on me last minute. I'm absolutely swamped. She dropped her purse on the counter and headed straight for the shower without so much as a kiss hello. Later, she curled up on her side of the bed, phone in hand as always, thumbs tapping away. I'm exhausted, she announced after 15 minutes of whatever the hell she was doing. Don't wait up for me. She set her phone on the nightstand, face down, and was snoring within minutes. I lay there listening to her breathe, wondering how many times she'd lied to my face like that. Wondering who JDallas88 was and what exactly he'd paid for. Wondering if our 8 years of marriage meant anything at all to her anymore. I waited until her breathing was deep and regular. Slow. Heavy. The kind of sleep you fall into when you've been working hard all day. Then I slipped out of bed and grabbed her phone. Thumbprint didn't work, she'd changed it. But I knew her passcode. 7-1-9-4, our wedding date, July 19th, 2014. The bitter irony wasn't lost on me. My heart pounded like a goddamn drum as the screen unlocked. I half expected alarms to go off, for her to suddenly sit bolt upright and catch me. But she just kept snoring, dead to the world. What I saw. Man, it damn near made me vomit. Her Instagram DMs were full. Not with girlfriends planning brunches or coworkers sending memes. No. Dozens of messages from men. Different names, same game. You were amazing last night. Best 3 hours I've had in a while. Let me know when you're free again, gorgeous. I'll make it worth your while. Discreet as promised. My wife suspected nothing. A bunch of them attached screenshots of cash transfers. Zelle. Venmo. Bank slips. 300 here. 500 there. One for 1,000 with a message that read, little extra for the special treatment. You know what I mean. My vision blurred. The room started spinning. I sat down on the bathroom floor, back against the cold tile, trying not to throw up as the truth crashed over me like a wave of sewage. She wasn't just cheating, she was running a whole damn business out of our marriage. My wife, the woman I'd helped through grad school, the woman I'd nursed through pneumonia 2 winters ago, the woman I still bought flowers for on random Tuesdays, was selling herself to strange men while I worked overtime to make our mortgage payments. I sat there staring at the screen, scrolling through message after message, each one worse than the last. Time blurred. Could have been minutes, could have been hours. I was trying to decide if I should punch a hole in the wall, wake her up and start screaming, or just leave and never come back. But then something clicked as I kept reading. She wasn't ashamed. She wasn't even trying to cover her tracks. That comment on her public post. She'd left it there on purpose. These messages. Not a single attempt to delete them. It's like she wanted to get caught. Or more likely, she just didn't care if I found out. That's when the coldness set in. The kind that replaces rage with something much more dangerous. Calculation. I decided I'd hit her where it hurt. Over the next week, I played everything cool. Went to work. Came home. Acted normal. Meanwhile, I set up a burner phone. Created new social media accounts. Built a profile that was catnip for whatever the hell she was doing, 42-year-old finance exec. Recently divorced. New in town. Flush with cash and lonely as hell. I polished that profile like a diamond. Found stock photos of some silver fox business type and a sleek downtown condo. Made sure all the details were just vague enough to be believable. Then I followed her accounts. Liked a few posts. Left tasteful, admiring comments that hinted at wealth and boredom. She bit in under an hour. A DM sliding into my fake account, thanks for the follow. Always nice to meet new people in the city. We chatted. I played dumb, played loaded, played exactly the kind of guy she liked to milk. Said I was looking for companionship without complications. She understood immediately. I might be able to make some time in my schedule, she wrote. Depends what you're looking for and how often. Whatever you're comfortable with, I replied. Money isn't an issue. The hook was set. Over the next few days, she laid out her services like a goddamn business proposal. Rates. Time slots. Special requests available, for the right client. All while sleeping next to me every night, kissing me goodbye every morning. I kept screenshots of everything. Every message. Every price quote. Every lewd photo she sent to seal the deal. My stomach turned each time my burner phone buzzed, but I played the part. Strung her along. Built anticipation. Then I set the meeting. Downtown Marriott. Thursday at 8 p.m. Bar called the Reserve on the second floor. Corner booth. Said I'd be in a blue suit with a red tie. Told her to wear something bold, something I'd remember. That Thursday morning, she kissed me goodbye like any other day. Working late again, she said, not even bothering to make eye contact. Don't wait up. No problem, I said, voice even. I might grab drinks with the guys after work anyway. She nodded, already looking at her phone. Didn't even ask which guys or where we were going. When was the last time she'd asked me anything about my life? I spent the day in a fog. Couldn't focus worth shit at work. Went home early, showered, and put on the only suit I owned, navy blue, slightly too tight across the shoulders now. Bought a blood-red tie from the department store downtown. Felt like I was dressing for a funeral. In a way, I was. I got to the hotel bar an hour early. Picked a table across from the corner booth with a clear view of the entrance. Ordered a whiskey neat. Then another. The bartender gave me a look, but I didn't care. I wasn't driving, and I needed something to steady my hands. At 7:50 p.m., she walked in. Full glam. Hair swept up, showing off the diamond earrings I'd given her for our 5th anniversary. Tight black dress that I'd never seen before, cut low in the front, high on the thigh. Heels that had to be 5 inches tall, making her legs look a mile long. Red lipstick. The works. She looked like a stranger. A beautiful, expensively packaged stranger who was searching the dim bar for her next payday. She checked her phone. Looked at the corner booth. Checked her phone again. Smoothed her dress and made her way to the designated spot, hips swaying, confidence radiating from every pore. She sat down, ordered a drink from a passing server, and settled in to wait for a man who would never show. I watched her sip her martini. Watched her check her makeup in her compact mirror. Watched her check her phone and send a message, undoubtedly to her date, asking where he was. The burner phone in my pocket buzzed. I didn't need to look at it. I finished my 3rd whiskey, left cash on the bar, and stood up. For a second, I almost lost my nerve. Almost walked out the back exit. Almost let her sit there all night waiting for a ghost. But then I thought about those messages. The lies. The men. The money. 8 years of marriage reduced to a side hustle. I straightened my tie and walked across the bar. I watched confusion flicker across her face as she saw me approaching. Confusion that quickly morphed into alarm, then panic as she realized what was happening. Her eyes darted from my face to my blue suit to my red tie, and the blood drained from her face so fast I thought she might pass out. Jessica, I said calmly, stopping a few feet from her table. I held up the burner phone. I believe you were expecting me. Her mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. No sound came out. David, she finally managed, voice barely above a whisper. What are you doing here? I gave her a smile that felt like broken glass on my face. Business meeting. Just like you. Around us, the bar continued its normal Thursday night buzz. A few heads turned our way, sensing the tension, but most people were wrapped up in their own dramas. This isn't, she started, then stopped. Even now, she was calculating. I could see it in her eyes. The wheels turning. Looking for an angle, an explanation, a way out. I didn't give her the chance. Don't, I said softly. Don't insult what little is left between us with more lies. I pulled out my regular phone and opened her message thread with JDallas88. Turned the screen toward her so she could see. Worth every penny, I read aloud, just loud enough for nearby tables to hear. That's what he said about you. Every penny. I scrolled to another message. And this one. $500 for, what did he call it? Oh right. The girlfriend experience. The color that had drained from her face came rushing back. Crimson shame staining her cheeks. Her eyes darted around, suddenly aware of the attention we were attracting. David, please, she whispered. Not here. We can talk about this at home. I laughed, and it sounded like something breaking. Home. We don't have a home anymore, Jess. You turned it into a fucking branch office for your side business. A tear slipped down her cheek, cutting through her perfect makeup. I'd like to say it moved me. That seeing her cry made some part of me want to comfort her out of habit. But all I felt was disgust. How long? I asked, voice steady despite the rage and hurt churning inside me. How long have you been doing this? She looked down at her hands, at the wedding ring she still wore while fucking strangers for cash. 7 months, she whispered. 7 months. Over half a year of lies. Of coming home to kiss me with the same lips that. I cut that thought off before I really did throw up. Why? I asked, though I didn't really expect an answer that would make any sense. She looked up then, and something hardened in her eyes. Because I was bored, she said. Because I wanted more. Because they desired me in a way you stopped doing years ago. That was rich. I desired her every day of our marriage. Even as we grew apart, even as she became more distant, I'd still reached for her in the dark. Still tried to connect. She was the one who was always too tired or not in the mood. And the money? I asked. What about that? Because it looks a hell of a lot like prostitution from where I'm standing. She flinched at the word. Good. It started as just attention, she said. Flirting. Meeting for drinks. But then one of them offered, and it was so easy. She shrugged, like she was explaining why she'd chosen one brand of coffee over another. The money was good. Really good. Better than that dead-end marketing job. I nodded slowly, taking that in. So you're telling me you ruined our marriage, betrayed my trust, and risked your health and safety, because it was easy money? You don't understand, she said, a flash of anger crossing her face. You've never understood what it's like to feel invisible. To feel like your best years are slipping away while you're stuck in the same rut, day after day. I almost laughed in her face. No, of course not. Why would I understand that? It's not like I've been working the same thankless job for 10 years to pay our bills while you chased one career, passion, after another. People were definitely staring now. A server hovered nearby, clearly trying to decide if he needed to intervene. I didn't walk over. Didn't yell. I just nodded, turned around, and walked out. Left her standing there, alone, dressed like a hooker, surrounded by strangers watching it all go down. I walked 15 blocks in the cold before I realized I had nowhere to go. I couldn't go back to our apartment. Couldn't stand the thought of being surrounded by photos of our life together, knowing it had all been a lie. I ended up at Mike's place. My oldest friend, the only one who'd warned me years ago that Jessica seemed a little too into herself. I'd nearly punched him for saying it. Now I owed him an apology along with the request for his couch. He didn't ask questions when he saw my face. Just handed me a beer and said, "Stay as long as you need." That was 2 months ago. I filed for divorce the next day. Used a lawyer Mike recommended, someone who didn't blink when I explained the situation and handed over the screenshots I'd collected. She called. Texted. Emailed. Showed up at Mike's place twice before he threatened to call the cops. She cried. Begged. Said it wasn't what it looked like. It was just a game that got out of hand, she said in one of her 20 voicemails. I never meant to hurt you. I never really cared about those men. It was just fantasy and money. You're the one I love. I told her I already knew exactly what it was. Business. And now it's closed. The divorce will be final next month. I'm keeping the apartment. Turns out having evidence your wife was running an escort service gives you some leverage in negotiations. She's moved in with her sister across town. I heard through mutual friends that she lost her marketing job when rumors started circulating. Don't know if she's still seeing clients. Don't care. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, heart racing, wondering if any of it was ever real. If she ever loved me at all. If I was just the stable backdrop she needed to pursue her real interests. But most days, I just feel empty. Like someone scooped out everything inside me that knew how to trust, how to love, how to believe in another person. I go to work. I come home to my half-empty apartment. I exist. Her Instagram is private now. No more boss babe inspirational quotes. No more perfectly staged photos. No more business in the comments section. Game over. Connection lost. Account closed.